All right, so who's excited for race day photos? There we go. All right. How many in the room have actually utilized the race day photos feature? Okay, that's good. How many people take photos at their races? Okay, good deal. So this is going to be great to incorporate those photos into the RunSignUp platform with the holistic circle of getting those into the results, getting more sponsor views and things like that. So without further ado, we're just going to kind of go over a rundown of the features of Race Day Photos, how to set it up, how easy it is to upload, and for people to view it, how to set up any customization for searching by bib number, searching by name, incorporating into the results, setting up custom locations. You may have different photographers out on the course, some at the start line, some at the finish line, merging those photos together. And then we'll hold questions to the end, and then we'll be able to take and answer any questions that you might have about the Race Day Photo platform. So the infrastructure is a lot of technical magic built by this guy right beside me here. We do offer a third-party upload through SmugMug integration, or you can direct upload from your files sent to you from your photographer into the system. Basically goes up into the cloud. We do tagging through Google Vision, and it'll auto-tag the photos for you, and then you can manually tag the rest of the photos, and then they'll come back down into RunSignUp for viewing. Again, like by bib number, names, you have different galleries. You can add watermarks to the photos to increase sponsorships and sell that way. And we also record all the views of the photos. I'm not sure if you saw one of the blog posts, but when you're sending out on social media, that's what people like to see is pictures of people running. And we all know, we've all seen some crazy finished photo pictures. So those are always good to have. So the features of Race Day Photos is it's free and it's really easy to use. Essentially, you're, again, dragging and dropping your files up into the system, and there's no charge for it. Like I mentioned, Google Vision will try and read a rectangular kind of square off of a bib. And so if it's in pretty plain view, for the most part, we're seeing anywhere from 60 to 65% tagging automatically. And then you would just have to go in and kind of manually tag the rest. Again, people's running arms might cover the bibs. So those kinds of things that you can kind of manually tag.
Yeah. What Google Vision?
This is all automatic. So just to go back to kind of what happens here.
964 pictures I had somebody take 2 weeks ago, and I didn't know how to put them with the people because I didn't put any spots on my bib to read anything. Am I missing something?
Were there bibs in your photo? Like on
yeah. I mean, so right now I can go back and do this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, I tried to figure it out, and I'm
sure. Right. So what happens when you upload the photo?
This is the magic cloud. So you don't necessarily need to be worried about the magic cloud.
Yeah. So what happens most of the time is you have your photos, let's say on a thumb drive or some other location on your computer, and you go to the upload page in the Photos tool, and we'll get into that a little bit more. And then what happens is you click here to add files, you go select all your files, then they get uploaded into our storage platform, and then we see that real time that's happening, and then we go and take that, and we automatically fire that off to Google Vision for you. You don't have to do any of that. And then if they come back and say, yeah, we have bib number 123, then we tag it in our system. And sometimes, like Matt was saying, it doesn't automatically get everything because you could be covering your bib with your arm or something like that, in which case you have to manually edit that. But this does give you a good percent, at least to start with initially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we also, in there, we record the metadata from the photo, so we can also do like near your finish. So it'll have the timestamp of when the photo was taken versus the results that were uploaded as well. So there's some intelligence there. Finding other people that finish near you that, again, their bib might have fallen off, or some people like to stick their bib on the side of their shorts and they're never going to be there. So results, when you go and post results, your timer posts results, I look at my individual result, it's going to link me to my video, my finish certificate, and also photos. And you can click and see every photo from that person's bib number with an easy option to download and share directly on social media. It's also got the watermarking opportunities. You can watermark your race logo. You can promote an additional sponsor, and you can even customize that however you want it to do with the location.
Sorry. You call watermarking the little logo in the corner, right? Not the big across the board so that people can't copy the picture.
Right. Yeah, so if your photographer has like their own internal watermarking, that gets uploaded as well, and we're just basically adding a logo to the photo, and you can use that as an internal logo. And you can make it pretty big inside the option.
Yeah, currently the watermark doesn't obscure the image so that you can't really see, fine details of it.
Yeah.
most of the photographers that we've worked with using the photo platform so far, if they want to do that, so far they've used like Lightroom or something similar feature like that in their other photo editing tool to go and add that watermark. So they upload it pre-watermark. Yeah.
So we're basically going to dive into the dashboard and kind of just go over each of the tabs of how to get this set up, the different options and things you can do for setting up access to the photos for your photographer, or if they're getting it from you, how to search it, tag them, how to upload watermarks. We'll go over the process of uploading a photo. Again, it might a little bit dependent on your internet speed and the weight of the files, but it goes fairly quickly. And then there's an option to view in there where you can do basic tagging and advanced tagging mechanisms. And then we'll go over like location setup to where you can kind of tell the story of your race. You'll have start line photos, you'll have finish line photos. Maybe you have like a lake that people run around and you have a photographer at the lake, you can set up different locations. So if any of you guys were at the morning run this morning, I handed out bibs. We had a lot of people there. I like to say that I ran out of safety pins, but I actually couldn't find them in my bag. So we did take some mug shots this morning, but you'll see some actual photos. But on the dashboard, you'll have the Photos tab, like mainly most of our features that are going to be segmented out. And we just open that up and pop up the setup. So when you first come in here, again, you're going to set up the photos, and it's going to give you some different options here. At the very top, it gives you photo access. You can, while you're watermarking and tagging things, you can set it to private mode. So that way you can view everything because you're logged in as the admin before you're ready to reveal it to the public. The searching options, you can allow people to search by participant data. So if I'm on the photos, not only do I just tag in a bib number that I want to find somebody, might not know what their bib number was because I'm just their friend. I'll type in Curtis and Curtis's picture will pop up. So that just allows you to search by the participant data that's already in the system.
And just to add on to that, so if you have result data, that's used primarily. This is just a fallback in case you have photos that are uploaded and let's say results didn't come in yet, you didn't post them. This is just an option, and we turn this off by default for privacy reasons.
Also, we have tagging. There's different tagging options. Like I said, we try and upload it and automatically tag through Google Vision, and remaining photos can be tagged generally by the race director, but you can turn on social sharing to where your participants can also tag friends that they saw in one of the photos that maybe they had already taken the bib off or the bib number was obstructed. If somebody knows who that is, they can say, yeah, I know that was Stephanie, and I'll just go tag that person right in there. So a couple different options. The watermarking is pretty cool. Again, we call it watermarking. It's basically putting a logo on the screen. So you'll see I've uploaded actual RaceDay photos as a sponsor. You can automatically choose existing sponsors that are in your race, or you can upload the race logo. So if you don't have if you want to do a different image that's not a sponsor or a race logo, I recommend just adding a hidden sponsor, and you can kind of put whatever image that you want to put on there. Some different options, whether you want it on the left or the right, things like that. We have if you've added images, you can clear that off. So if you've uploaded it and for some reason you wanted to change it, there's an option to clear at post-upload. So you've already uploaded it, you already have the watermarking, and that just kind of clears that out.
Right. So that's useful if you put a sponsor on your photos, and let's say you don't want them anymore, and so we'll cache that so that we don't have to regenerate that image all the time. And we do that to make sure that your participants, if you look at the same photos over and over again, it speeds the process up. But if that utility will clear them automatically for you.
So once we've kind of set up the basics, it's time to go ahead and take that thumb drive of your 900 some photos. And again, super easy. We'll break this down by dates. Obviously, this was just a demo run, so we just have the one date. So we'll click on that. And by default, we'll have the start line because a lot of photos are taken at the start and obviously the finish. And you can customize any other location that you want. So maybe you have like a really nice spot on the course, jumping over a police car or something. You can have a photographer right there, and that's like the signature spot of the thing, just kind of like a roller coaster, right? You go down the big thing, take the picture there. You can add any custom location, just click on it and name it whatever you want to do. And so we've set up I've set up our folders to where we want to put those locations. So if all 900 are in the same one, we just come here and drag and drop and click upload. Very, very simple process. There's not a whole lot to it. Go ahead and hit the view.
Sure.
And so once photos have been uploaded, so we'll go through the photos here. It'll upload all the photos that are in here. And we'll see that through Google Vision, it automatically tagged. So we got Ross in there, and then it missed the tag here. And it also tagged number 6. And you'll see that there's a 6 actually in the photo there. And so there's some good best practices about tagging to where some of the ways you can do it is there's no bib number 6 that I handed out this morning. And there's cool features in there that you can just wipe out any tagging that wasn't assigned a bib number. And so this is another thing. So 4-digit bib numbers, everything's a 4-digit bib number. So if it tags something that's 1, 2, or 3 digits, obviously it didn't get a full tag. And so you can kind of wipe that out. You can kind of scroll through and we'll get to, we got to get one with the photo bomb there. So there's Matt, we got Cole. And so we'll go, where's the one? There's the photo bomb, so go back. So we'll see. It's actually a double photo bomb. We have Sherry in the background. I don't know if Sherry's in here or not. But so we have Curtis and Jordan here, and it's very easy to tag Steffi's bib number, I think, 3232. And you can go ahead and go type in 3232 up in there. And we just add the bib number, and bam, Steffi's already tagged in there. And we just knew what the bib number was, and so obviously her bib number was there because she was photobombing them. But yeah, very easy to go through and view the photos. We can go into advanced mode. Yeah, advanced mode just kind of blows up the picture when we click on them to allow you to kind of scale in a little bit if needed, and you just start typing in, or you can X out. So we know there's no 6 in here, and it's just very easy to just untag the photo that way. So you can get your team. I know Nick from Best Damn Race, they get their ambassadors to go in. Everybody has access, and they just churn through like their race of like 5,000 people and knock it out.
And this has keyboard shortcuts too. So you just type in, the digits, and you hit enter, and then it's saved, and then you can go left and right and stuff like that.
In this particular, you'll notice the watermarking logo. It's a ping image, so it's actually got a transparent background. So that's why I think that looks really nice. I always recommend some sort of transparent background. Again, it's on there, but it doesn't obscure the photo. If it was just a white background, it would just be like a giant rectangle in there.
Real quick one on the recognition. Is there a best bib? Is black digits, white bibs? Because if we're doing custom bibs, is there anything we want to avoid for recognition?
Yeah, so what we recommend and what we found gets be as close to that 60-70% is having a white background and then a very dark typeface on there. And we found that things like impact typefaces like that aren't really that good because you'll have things like where the 7 looks very similar to the 1, and you have issues like that. So there's some good typefaces out there, really ones that everything is differentiated. I don't really want to recommend one because you could be sourcing your bibs from so many different places. They might not have access to them, but like a dark red or a dark blue or something like that on a white background with padding around them, so they're not stretching to the sides. That's what we find yields some good results. We find that like if you have maybe like 15 to 20% margin on the sides, just so that let's say they're covering their the bib with their hands, it gives you an extra layer just in case that happens to maybe cut down on some of those. I think I talked about the color and then some of the typeface a little bit, but just to go on that a little bit more, we find that a thickness for your typeface, it shouldn't be too thick. Like impact is extremely thick. Like I was saying before, the 7s look like 1s, but you don't want to have it like a thin typeface either because then it won't be able to be bold enough. So that's another thing to do. And then the spacing with the margins, having like about 15% margins on all the sides of the bib, that's a good idea to have. Camera angle does play a factor. So if you're taking pictures head on and then you have the bib number right in front of you, that yields a good result. Side photos where it's more than 15, 20, 30 degrees, it's not the Google Vision, it's not going to pick it up very well. And then image quality, if you zoom in further into the participants, so the bib number is bigger, obviously it's going to have a higher chance of picking that up instead of having it so that you have a wide shot that has 50 runners in it. That might not pick it up as much. High contrast, that's good. We've had a few different people try different bib combinations, and the one that people keep on coming back to is a dark bib color on a white background that tends to yield a pretty good result. And then another thing that isn't so important, it seems like it'd be really important, but when you're tagging them, let's say you had 2016 or 2017 on your bib. What you'll find typically is that will probably go in and half of your photos will be tagged with 2016 or 2017. That seems like it's a big deal. Really, that only matters if there is a 2017 participant. Because otherwise, you're the one that's seeing it. No one else really knows about that. But we do have a tool in bib management per location to actually clear those. So we have a table of like the top 10 bib numbers that we see in your photos. You just click a button and then it gets rid of all of those tags for those photos, just taking that one tag out. So if you had 2017 and let's say bib number 245, it would just take out the 2017 and leave all the other tags in there.
Yeah, we had one photographer, their photographer put a watermark in it, just like you were talking about, that actual, but the watermark was the date and the name of the race over everything. And so it had, the 26 and 2017 on every single photo.
Yeah.
And so with a click of a button, done.
And we've had other things where you have mile markers and stuff like that in the background of every single shot. So that helps with that.
Yeah,
Right, 35 miles an hour.
So yeah, that's pretty much the quick rundown of the RaceDay photo platform. I know people had questions throughout the presentation. Wide open up if anybody had any questions.
Is there a way to automatically remove bib numbers that aren't assigned, other than the method you just mentioned? But if my bib number start at 2,000 and go higher, anything that's a 3-digit number, is it
Yep,
automatically?
absolutely. So that's another tool that we have. So if you know exactly what your bib range is and you want to remove everything that's not in that range, you just go into locations under photos, the photos tab, and per location you click on a green button, bib management,
Okay.
and then you just type in that range and it will remove all the other ones.
Make sure you have 4-digit. Do not start your bibs at 1. Start them at 1,000. That way, if somebody's has their hand in front of 1 or 2 of the digits, it's
Right.
not really.
That way all the valid ones will be 4 digits, minus maybe 2017, right?
Right.
So then you just type in 1,000, 9,999, and then all those other 3-digit ones, all those combinations are all gone.
Partials are automatically removed.
Right. And people wouldn't be searching on those either because that wouldn't be their bib.
And they'd show up in the untagged report, so you'd be able to go in and start tagging them based on the partials if you had to.
If you had to, yeah.
What about tagging elites that don't have a number, they've got a name?
Well, that would be like any of the other ones where you have to go in, the ones that aren't tagged, and then tag them, yeah.
How long will the photos be available?
They're available as long as you keep them up there. We don't have like an expiration on them or anything. We store them as long as you want. If you want to turn them off, right. So you can, if you have multiple years, let's go back to the Scott Coffee, for instance. So I took photos this year and last year on this race. So we defaulted to the one that just happened, which would be June 2017. But let's say you want to look at June 2016. You just go up here and click Change Year, 2016. And that's a different set of photos. And these are from the 2016 event year. If you wanted to go delete them or anything, you can do that. Really the easiest way, if you just don't want to see them, is click Private on the setup page, and then that will hide them.
Can you give your photographer access to the photos without giving them access to everything else?
Yeah, so you can do that under Secure Access Info Sharing,
And
like you
what's
could
that
with any
link?
other tab.
There's a Facebook link that you can click on and it can take you to the Facebook page.
Yeah, so what that does is that will pop it up so that they can actually share that image on their Facebook feed with their friends.
Can you jump back to the question on giving them secure access? Is there one that says just photos? I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
So you're giving them just
we don't have
access
like a
to-
specific one that's just for it, but all you have to do is go to the Secure Access Info Sharing here. And then you just have to click Add Access here. And we have a tab down here for photos, so you just check that. And you type in their email address, and then they'll send them an invitation to go accept. And then they have access to go only to the Photos tab in your dashboard.
Are there settings on the camera that you guys recommend to use?
Just as a general photographer, most photographers shoot in RAW mode.
If you don't have a general photographer, if I'm stuck doing it myself?
Yeah, if you have just a generic DSLR, you can probably just shoot in auto at that point, and you'll get pretty high quality photos.
Sometimes they have some other settings, like if it's a very cloudy day, some DSLRs will have like a cloudy setting, so you might be able to use that. Typically, though, we just recommend that you put it on the auto, which could be like green on most DSLRs. If you don't have too much experience with apertures and shutter speeds and stuff like that, that'll typically yield pretty good results depending on your lens.
Yeah, I just used the iPhone this morning just because that's all I have access to. But yeah.
Have you had any success with the GoPros and setting the burst feature where it takes the picture every couple of seconds?
I've had people do
They
that,
don't
but
have a person to do it?
yeah, they're not able to zoom. Obviously, getting that full portraiture of the runner with the zoom is going to be the best. But people have set auto when they get the chip read, it takes a photo, and then just kind of uploading those. Like they're not the highest quality, but it's a way to do it. And if you can automate it and then just upload it, it's better than nothing, I believe. So, yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for attending. If anybody thinks of anything else, definitely.